He said, I am live. All right, hi guys. Welcome back to Melissa's Cricket Creation. This is our this week's sipping craft. We have a very special guest. We're just gonna wait a little while though, because no one's on right now. So we're gonna wait a little while and see can we get some people on. And what I'll do is I'll pull it up on my laptop. That way, since I can't share my screen, if we need to play something, audio or something, I can have it on my laptop. And
All right.
so let me pull up my Facebook group. Tell these people to come on in here. There you go. It's acting up. If you're here, go ahead and let me know what you're sipping on today for sipping craft, even if it is water.
Water.
Are you sipping on anything tonight?
Water.
Water. Okay.
Yep. Good old water. I was going to get a bottle of wine, but I was like, nah, let me just stick to the water.
You just drinking a bottle of wine. I am drinking mystery drink.
Mystery drink. I like the sound of
It's
that.
actually, I'll show you. It's moonshine buttercream.
Oh, okay. Oh no, what happened? Uh oh. Not sure what happened. I lost you. Uh oh. It still says live though, so oh, that's interesting.
Hey, Elizabeth. Sorry, knocked me out.
All
There you
right.
go, acting up again. This is totally my fault because I knew my sister's Wi-Fi. I forgot though. I forgot how horrible her Wi-Fi is.
No worries.
It's actually pretty good, Elizabeth. All right, say something.
Hey, can you hear me? Testing,
All right.
testing, testing.
Okay. I'm hoping that it will clear up. Don't look like it. We could always hope for a better reception.
Fingers crossed.
If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, please. And if you're not a part of the Cricket Gang, go ahead and subscribe. Yesterday we talked about how to name your business. I was coughing because this weather is crazy out here, but it is not contagious through the phone, as I said. So you'll be perfectly fine. So go ahead and check out that last video, and we're on the road to 4,000 watch hours. We are now 150 hours away, 1 hour and 50
That's
from
amazing.
4,000. Huh?
So that's amazing. That's awesome.
So let's
Congratulations.
get there, people. Oh man, I can't hear. This sucks. All right. Say something for me, please.
Testing, testing, testing,
Oh
testing. One,
man.
two, three.
Why? Why does the connection have to be bad?
I don't know.
Okay, that seems like that was pretty good right there.
Oh, okay. That's good. Oh no. Oh no.
All right. I'm moving. Maybe this will help. Lights. Do I have all the lights on? Look, yep. It's just a dark room. All right. All right. So we're back. You can hear me now, right? Because I don't hear anything
Yep.
staticking. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Go ahead and get started. I'm gonna sit there and work on my computer now. Maybe this is just a better area.
Okay. Oh man, what happened? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh no, I can't hear you. I can't hear you no more. I don't know why I can't hear you. And you're on your computer right now, right? Yeah, I can't hear you. It says they can't hear you either. Uh, yeah, I don't know. All right. How about now? No, uh, I don't know why. No, no, she's not on mute. She's not on mute. Check the settings under cam and mic, audio. See what your audio is set through your mic, and then check to see what your speakers on. 'Cause I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you. Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, put it in the comments so I know that y'all can hear me, because I might be muted too. I don't know. I don't even know.
All right. So I'm gonna exit out of this.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm back on my phone.
Oh man. Okay. The
Guess we'll
video
just
looked
we'll have to do it.
crisp from the computer.
Okay. I know, but y'all couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. That's strange.
So I had to come back to my darker room. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Welcome to Melissa's Cookie Creation. This week's A Craft and Sip, we have a very special guest. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, about your YouTube channel.
All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. I definitely do appreciate it. So I'm Aaron, but my YouTube name is Double A Hef. As you can see, I have a YouTube channel. It's mainly geared towards quote unquote black men of all ages, pretty much to dispense information to help our brothers avoid common pitfalls that are just out there to get us. My main message is you cannot be for the black community if you're not for the black man. And obviously, you could check out my YouTube channel if you want to find out more about that.
Okay, okay. So let me tell you guys about how I came across Aaron's. I should say, what's your YouTube name?
Double AF.
So yeah,
You can
okay,
call me Aaron. That's fine.
okay. So let's
That's
just
my
say
name
Aaron. Like
anyway.
I can remember that. Okay, so so yeah, so I came across this channel because I listened to Cynthia G. Okay, I found out about Cynthia G. Maybe during the pandemic. I think I was introduced to Cynthia G. Um, I thought that she had some great points. And initially, Cynthia G was a channel where she discouraged. She pretty much believed in black men and black women dating, and we just need to fix our issues with one another. Da, da, da. But after she continued her YouTube career, she was attacked by men of her own community, black men, and so she started to watch and see, different behaviors or different patterns that she felt like she saw in the community. And she not created because she already had her YouTube, but her message has evolved. If you look at a video even from a year ago, because see what how YouTube does, they'll suggest a video, then they'll suggest an old video. So I watched one of her videos. I was like, okay, I like this video. Then I saw an old video where it was a lady, she had a husband. She was married to a white man and she was just telling her horror story, her individual story or whatever. And she said this is why she doesn't encourage women to what they call it, divesting, to divest or whatever, da da da. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Her messages are conflicting. But I had a friend that told me like, oh, her message has evolved. And then that's when I, you know, begin to be, suggesting her videos, da da da. Long story short, you were suggested to me because you made the video about the video she made about Shayna Johnson, and I watched your video. And you were talking about what you didn't agree with her in the video, and I was like, and I was like, I wonder would he come on and sip and craft, and let's discuss. What doesn't. I mean, I can see how you might not like her as a black man, but she has some valid points. Okay, go ahead. First of all, before going into detail, just give me some hot spots of like what are some things you disagree with Cynthia G on.
Um, Very quick and to the point. I believe that Cynthia G is very disingenuous.
Okay.
I believe that someone definitely hurt her. I don't know who, but someone has hurt that woman.
Black man.
And because of that, now she is in this sick state where if you're a hammer, everything that you see is a nail. So she dwells in that realm of black man bad at any freaking cost. So now she goes around spreading what I believe to be terrible information,
Mm-hmm.
um, to quote unquote black women, which doesn't help the community. Maybe she started out trying to help it, but what she's doing right now, I don't see any good in that. And don't get me wrong, a broken clock is right twice a day. So, like you said, sometimes she does say some things. I'm not one of those people that just totally disagree with people say because I don't like them. I don't work like that. So, I'll give her credit when she does say some valid things. But unfortunately for her, she very quickly puts her foot in her mouth after she says something valid. So, you know, that's it with Cynthia. For me, she's more of like comedy.
Okay. So like what is one subject that you feel like that she's incorrect about?
Well, for instance, she'll say, "Oh, the black man has no resources, therefore he has no power, and
Mm-hmm.
he can't do anything to change uh, his situation." Okay, great, understood, Cynthia, understood. But with that being said, and if you understand who we are and our makeup in this country, we're 13% of the population, right? Uh,
Allegedly. Yeah.
we don't have the resources. We're never going to be the dominant society. So with Cynthia G's logic,
Mm-hmm.
there's no great end goal for the quote unquote black man. So she
There
complains,
is. Okay.
black women don't be with the black man because he has no resources. But if you can't tangibly ever see that come into fruition, because we're never going to be the dominant society, then what is her metric of engagement in saying, okay, well, now's a good time, black women, to get with the black man? If that's her barometer, that's what I'm saying. If her barometer is lacking resources and not being the dominant group in the society, I can tell you right now, it's never going to come.
So I think that I don't get that message from her. I get the message from her of saying we have to hold them accountable. If we don't hold them accountable to be the leaders in our community, there is no going back. I feel like we made so many excuses for men and we've allowed them to slip through the cracks. Like, we babied, we made excuses, we said this and that. Because let's be honest, right? Like right after slavery, we own way more land. People don't like Candace Owens, but she's right. Like
Yeah.
things were way more progressive with less tools. And
Yeah.
yet we come this far, right? And less home ownership. And we know some of it was we were tricked out of our land. We're very much so aware of it. But it's like, what's the game plan and why? And I know you said she plays the blame game, but as Curl says, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone, so it's kind of far. It
Mhm.
says, are the men who talk about black women every day hurt as well? Uh, I mean, that's like let me give you a look. So before the pandemic, right? I'm gonna say before YouTube, before I started doing these sipping crafts, I didn't know that there was a whole like manosphere, and there was a whole group of men online like devoted to not dating single moms, and black women are this because like in my everyday life, like I don't know these people. And so at first, because my friend used to tell me about them, at first I was very dismissive of it, okay? And I was like, no, those are just people talking online, ignore it, da 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 da. But it took steam when Kevin Samuels came aboard, and then it started to appear in my real life. Like people were saying these things. I started hearing people, mocking. I was like, there's an issue when the men who are creating the single moms have a problem with the single moms. There's an issue with the men who spent their 20s running through women, creating bitter women, are now upset with bitter women. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
There's
Agreed.
an issue. When people won't take accountability for their actions and just blame the other gender and then hide their hands as if they're not a part. Like, oh, these men are being raised by single moms, so they're soft. Well, where are the men that are supposed to be raising these boys? Why aren't they there? Why aren't we talking about that conversation? It's just
Yeah.
like it's so one sided.
Well, that is a complex topic. The why aren't the black men there? There's many reasons for that. Obviously, first and foremost, a lot of them grow up in households where their father wasn't there, so it's nothing for them not to be there. You know what I mean? That's all too common in the black community. Also, there's obviously this incentives for women not to have men around. There's incentives for women
What
to
are the incentives for women not to have men around?
welfare, food stamps, EBT. I have people in my family. I'm not gonna name their names, but I've seen it firsthand. Have a baby, have another baby, keep having babies, living with grandma.
So I
Uh,
work for the Medicaid office, and having a male does not disqualify you for qualifying. Now, if your income, even if you're a female by yourself,
mhm,
if your income is a little bit above poverty,
mhm.
they're gonna deny you. But having a male in the home, simply just having a male in the home, does not disqualify
Yeah,
you from.
yes, that is true, but
Mhm.
I'm talking about a man, obviously a man that's going to take care of his responsibilities.
So if a
He's
man
he
is taking care of his responsibility, I don't need welfare.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So the men or the males is a better term. The males that are in a home, a lot of the times these guys aren't doing anything. They're just mooching off whatever the woman is doing. Because again, if he had a job, she wouldn't qualify for the benefits anyway. But most of these guys, they're not what you would call upstanding contributors to society.
So that's like a small group, right?
Mhm.
Majority of black people aren't on welfare. That's a
Yeah,
small
I
group.
I agree. No, I'm not. I said it's multifaceted. These are
Okay.
just different.
So, but they're still in the home though, right? If they're in the house, and I mean, I guess you would have to know the rules because I know the rules because I work there. But
Mhm.
technically, even if your husband has a job and you say y'all accept, people know how to play the system, especially if they've been on it for generations after generations.
That's true.
Uh, you know, um, they could get married, say they're separated and not in the same home, and his income doesn't even count. So I mean, it's really no excuse. I mean, that's not really a legitimate excuse. And more white people are on welfare, and it hasn't attacked their communities like it has ours. So I don't understand how that can be used. And then again, if we are going to use that as an excuse, again. shouldn't the attention be on the males that
Yeah.
don't want to get it together, not the
Well,
woman that's dating
yes.
the male?
To answer
Okay.
that question, yes. But I'm not here making excuses. I was just saying
Okay.
some of the pitfalls. Obviously, uh, not all black people are on
Okay.
welfare, and obviously more white people are on welfare because uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's more of them.
They're a
One,
larger number.
yeah. If we broke it
Yeah.
down by percent to ratio,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a number I've looked at recently, but I'm willing to bet that ours would be a little bit higher than what we would like it to be. But anyway, back
Okay.
to
Mm-hmm.
accountability. So
Okay.
on my YouTube channel, my platform,
Okay.
that's like I'm like a broken record. That's all I speak about, accountability. And like
Right.
I said when I at the open, if you're not for the quote unquote black man, then you're not for the black community. And I'm
Okay.
talking to black men because I'm holding them accountable. At the end of the day, um, we could talk about black women, being the matriarch of the black community for over the past 50 plus years. We could talk about all of this stuff. We could talk about feminism. We could talk about, the suffrage movement. We could talk about all of those things. But at the end of the day, we are where we are because black men don't hold themselves accountable.
I
Therefore,
agree.
we have this insidious community, which is it's not a real community. The black community
Right.
is not a real community by any stretch of the word community.
Mm-hmm.
Black culture is not a real culture. Black culture is what you hear on Hot 97. Like that's black culture. Black culture is you go outside and you see a whole bunch of white kids in the suburbs, you know, acting out these rap songs. The culture isn't like that. A culture can't just be digested by watching BET or
Mm-hmm.
MTV, but that is what black culture has turned into, and that's because of the breakdown at the house. We need to have black men hold each other accountable, all be on the same page with how we conduct ourselves. For instance, if I have this house with my family and my next door neighbor has his house with his family, if I see his son or daughter outside doing that is shameful to the community at large, I can approach this kid as if that kid were my own, and then we can have that discussion as a community together. That's why that's happening. We need to stop that from happening. But as it is, please let somebody try to chastise another quote unquote black person's child in the street. All hell's gonna break loose. You know what I mean? And that child could have been dead wrong. So we're literally, chomping at the bits to get with each other instead of starting with the quote unquote black man, having him understand that everything starts and ends with you. Black woman is looking at you. Your world is looking at you, black man. What are you gonna do? Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of black men. I mean,
Okay.
you know what, man? Just chop it up to the game. The Bible says not all will be saved, so not all will be saved. But I'm trying
So
to
I
save as
heard.
many as I can.
Okay. So I heard you say that if you're not for the black man, then you're against the community, right? So it does the same hold
No, no,
true.
no, not quite. No, I said sorry. I mean to interrupt you. I said if you're not for the black man, you can't be for the black community. So not necessarily you're against it. You may
Yeah.
think that you're for it, but
The same
and I.
hold true for black women.
What do you mean?
If you're not for the black woman, you're not for the black community.
Yeah. So I say that because
Ah, it's breaking up.
no, it's all right. It is a little choppy, but I can make it a little. Oh, never mind. Got a little bad right there. Can you hear me?
Hold on. All right, try again.
So yeah, so I say that because there are many there are many pro-
All right. Let's see. Can we hear you?
all right. How about now?
All right. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. I think I can hear you. Yeah. Uh huh.
All right. So I say that because there are a lot of resources created for the black woman, for single black parents, mainly single black women, and also for black children. There's all sorts of programs for the kids, all
Mm-hmm.
sorts of benefits dished out in corporate America to get black women jobs and after school programs, so that way she can continue to work in corporate America. and have her child be taken care of, and all this stuff. But all that is a band-aid on the wound. You know, at the end of the day, uh, we wouldn't have to have all these government handouts. Essentially, are what they are for the black women. If we had more black men, and I mean men, not just black guys in the house. I mean black men, because then you're gonna have a stronger family ties, and you're also going to have a supplement to the income. So then, therefore, you wouldn't need to rely on the government to watch your kids, to give you jobs by many different means, affirmative action being one of them. Uh, Together as one cohesive unit, there's nothing that we can't do. If you can hear me, I don't know. It sounds like it's breaking up.
Yeah, it's breaking up. I can't really hear you. I can't really hear you. I heard you say if there wasn't, there's resource. You said there's resources for Black women and for kids. There's after school programs, and you said there's benefits, right?
Yeah,
That women can get to watch their kids while they're working. Is that what you
yeah,
said?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I,
And what were you
but those
saying?
are.
As you
I said those are band-aids. So those aren't remedies to the problem. Those aren't real solutions. The solution is having a strong family unit. So the only way to help the black community.
I don't understand. Like as I hear you talk, I don't think I think you just don't like hearing it come from a woman because I feel like you guys. Okay, let me put it this way. So I feel like the reason why Cynthia G's approach is the way her approach is because you have to understand. Even as you speak now, you know, it still seems as if it's like it's like we're being told like, oh, you got the easy way out. You have someone to assist you. You have someone that might not even be what you're trying to say, but I'm just saying how it's coming across. So it comes across as okay, y'all have programs, you have somebody to watch your kids, which is whatever. But you have all these things in place to assist whoever the parent is. It's not necessarily a woman because if it's a male, which you're right, most times it's gonna be the female, not the male, right? But it could if men were the ones who were the primary parent, they would qualify for the same programs, right? And so I
Yeah.
think the reason why Cynthia G comes across the way she comes across is because she's trying to get women to understand there's a line of men online who are saying the reason we don't marry you is because of this, and this. And she said, no, that's not because women love black men. Like we're less likely to date outside our race. I wasn't even open to it until the pandemic hit, and I started hearing all this foolishness y'all were talking. I said y'all, I'm talking about men. We're talking online, and I said, you know what? I need to open up. I need to open up the people that I'm dating now because now I didn't see it before because I come from a small town and I don't hear people talking like that. But I didn't see it until this Kevin Samuels debacle and all that stuff happened. And so what she's saying to women is, you need to wake up. They're not choosing you because there's a lot of self-hate. There's low accountability. They're not able to give you a job. They don't have a community. They're not leaders. They are conquered. And until they're willing to, I feel like if men will tell the truth, and the reason why they make, instead of blaming me for why you make your decisions, if you would tell the truth for why you make your decisions so we can move forward, because we both got issues we need to work on, we could move forward. But we're sitting here holding out for finding this lone ranger, out there in the sea of spoiled milk, lack of better term, and she's just trying to say like, be realistic. Like these men aren't choosing you because they're finding problems with you because you're calling them out about their issues and saying you're not feminine, but then the women they're choosing aren't feminine either. They're saying you have a weight problem, but every woman on 600-pound wife has a black man. They're saying they're saying all these that you're single mothers and you need to be reprimanded for having kids out of wedlock, but they're the men that's creating these single mothers. And it's like I feel like
Agreed.
so many men excuse. I know you said you got the one. So many men excuse themselves from the party, okay? And they say that's them, that's not us. I don't do that. I don't make those actions. Da da da. And so she's saying, wake up. These it's not you. It's not the men that are creating these single mothers. that we don't have things to work on, but they have a list of issues they need to work on. Let's read some of these comments. Kurt, I got to get close again. It's small. It says, I want to know why men get a pass for making poor decisions because they were raised by a single mother, but the woman who raised the women who were raised by single mothers get a pass. Don't get a pass, I guess.
Well, I don't. I don't. Well, look, me. I don't give men a pass. I said that's. You go on my page, you'll see a lot of that. I don't offer no passes to men. I hold men accountable for everything. Um, period. Period. No matter what it is, I can point to the man
Right.
in the situation and show you how he messed that up. So I'm not giving out passes now. Society as at large are they giving out passes to black men in single mother households? I think so. I think the dominant society wants that to be the norm. I think they want single mothers to raise our black boys so that they don't become men. Because no offense to y'all ladies out there, but a woman can't raise a man. He needs a man to know what a man is. So you could do a great job with them. We see that all the time. There's a lot of successful black men that came from a single black mother. So obviously it exists, but that shouldn't be the norm. That shouldn't be what we're aiming for. So again, I'm not out here giving passes to these
Right.
guys at all, at all. We got a lot of hooligans. We really have a lot of hooligans just running around the neighborhood doing whatever the hell they want when they want. I have a I started a series on my channel. It's called "Who Are the Real Sellouts?" Because people always trying to call people a coon,
Right.
But those dudes running the streets, selling drugs, just having sex with anybody whenever they want, having babies out of wedlock, or having different baby mamas and all that stuff. They the real sellouts. They think they keeping it real, but they not. They keeping it real bad for the black community. Is what they doing. So when Cynthia says stuff like that, I agree with her. I agree. I'll give her credit in that regard. But but then she'll say some other stuff, and then I'm just like,
I
God
know one
damn.
of the things you disagreed on with her is when she said, "Yeah, you agree with her." I feel like you agree. I mean, so one of the things she said that I watched the video and you said you disagreed about is when she said that when black women are killed, uh, a lot of times excuses like the blame is put on the woman. That's because we're not a protected class. And
What?
but when black men
What?
are killed, don't start laughing and leaning back. Um, when black men are killed, it's like we don't like forget the fact that George Floyd. I mean, I know people not gonna like that I'm about to say this, but oh well. Forget the fact that George Floyd, had just recently or recently enough had held a black pregnant woman at gunpoint. Forget the fact that he had left behind. He should be our issue. We should drop everything we're doing, and we need to protest because he couldn't have been my son, but he could have been somebody else's son. He could have been somebody's uncle. All this stuff. But when Breonna Taylor gets killed, it's like she needs to make better decisions. Her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer who she wasn't with, but her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer. She hadn't put herself in those situations, da da da. And it's like, why is it when it comes to women, it's always what did she do? Why she get shot? Da da da. And when it's men, it's like it doesn't matter that he fell asleep in the drive-through at Wendy's drunk and tried to take the man. Like the excuses do we have?
Nah, you know what that is, and that's a
Oh
very
man,
valid question.
it froze on us. I can't hear you.
Oh no, can
It's
you hear me now?
frozen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep that thought. I'm gonna try to keep that thought. Can you hear me
I
now?
hear you. I hear you. I
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
So yeah, very
I hear
valid
you. Yeah.
question. But the issue with that is mainstream media uses the black man because the black man just creates more energy. So whenever you have a quote unquote black man that has any kind of run in, whether he's right, wrong, indifferent, whatever the case may be, they're going to take that and spin it because it just generates more energy. The black man just generates more energy. That's just what it is. If black women did, they would do the same thing with black women, but it doesn't. Now, when it comes to the community, again, I can't speak for everybody, and I won't. I'll just speak for myself. Um, let's just call it what it was. George Floyd was a drug addict. He's a degenerate, you know. Breonna Taylor, she loved that thug life, and she got caught up in it. Unfortunately, both both of them dying was very unfortunate. No one wants to see anyone die like that. Maybe George Floyd, they might have want to see die like that. Maybe the family of the pregnant woman who he put a gun to her belly, maybe they would like to have seen him die like that. But most people don't want to see people die. It's pretty unfortunate. But at the end of the day, that's where accountability comes in. I'm not going to sit here and try to cast aspersions on Breonna Taylor. I don't know Breonna. I mean, well, she's dead and gone now. Rest in peace. But I didn't know her. I just know what the media said, and then obviously doing some more research, I found out that she did embrace that thug life, and unfortunately, she was a victim of that. But I'm not going to sit here and say that she was a bad person because of that. People fall into the wrong crowd and stuff like that, and before you know, you could be gone. Not even see it coming. Like she didn't see that
Because
coming.
her dad probably,
What was that?
because her dad probably wasn't in her life.
Probably. I mean, probably not. And if he was, then he probably was what I call a know
I don't
nothing
know.
nigga. You know what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying?
I think,
What was that?
yeah. Liz says more times than most, those programs are taken advantage of, and for an extended period of time to where I think I'm reading these too late, so they don't necessarily match up with what we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Where is a dependable source? I think she's talking about when we were talking about the welfare systems. And Olivia says, it sounds like you agree with Cynthia. I think so. You say it sounds like you just don't like her delivery, but you 100% agree with her.
No.
And
So
then
I don't
said,
100% agree. There's many things I
I
disagree with
mean, we
Cynthia.
can't 100% agree with anybody. Huh?
Yeah, no, like I said, there's too many to count. But I know for sure, I did a video on one thing in particular that she said that was just inflammatory, and it was irresponsible. She said there was at no time ever in history has black men ever protected black women, and that's just an egregious, irresponsible comment to make, especially someone with a platform as large as hers. So, especially with someone that comes across as she's educated. I just find that hard to believe that she would say something like that. So again, she says
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
So I
erroneous
guess
things.
I can see if you were a black man, I can see you being offended by that statement. I guess what she's saying is, if we go to the beginning of time, right? Not the beginning of time, but the beginning of, I don't know what you believe. I don't know if you believe we came here on a slave ship or if you believe we're already here or whatever. But whatever happens,
Some came on the
if we
ships,
were
yeah.
captured or if we were brought here on a slave ship, whatever. Okay. Whatever you believe, we weren't protected at that time, right? Because
Hmm.
you'll say because you couldn't. All right. We were raped by the slave owners. I know y'all were bent over too, but I'm just saying you couldn't protect us then. Um, you weren't able to provide jobs for us or keep us home. A lot of us were working when you guys couldn't work. Early on, also, we were making a living. I mean, that hasn't really been a period of time. I mean, even when we were trying to get on foot, right? We were doing well. Then, I mean, I know that the whole thing about the CIA came in and they infiltrated our communities with the drugs. But who were the people that took the drugs and then distributed it to our own people? Again, it's like we were betrayed, you know, uh, by the people that we thought were there to lead us. And like I said, she harsh. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I hear the stuff she say. Like, I don't agree with her on the whole bonnet thing. I think people leave people alone. And I'm not even a bonnet wearer, just because I'm lazy. But it's more so, I just feel like we just attack everything women do. It's like, unless you wear natural hair, you will never understand the journey. I ain't say you should show up. I ain't say you should show up to an official event without a natural haircut. with a button on. But if you run to Target or if you run into Walmart and you have natural hair, I mean, I don't know if you ever, when you're a guy, so you don't have to worry about it. But if I go to the store with my natural hair off my head, you have a problem with that. If I put a button on, now you got an issue with that. It's like a baseball cap is not gonna fit on my head. I'm sorry to break it to you, but by no means should you be at a dinner or at somebody's graduation party or anything official with a hair button on. But if you just run into the store to get some medicine for your baby or just going to get something real quick, like what's the big deal? It's like a hair cover, but whatever. I'm just saying I don't agree with everything she says, right? But I just think that you more so agree with her. You just don't like her delivery.
No, not quite. Because the basis of my stance is rebuilding the black family, starting with the man, and too often she tries to put down the black man. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of examples out there, and oftentimes in her videos she uses the lowest of low black guys, and like I said, those guys are lost. A lot of them can't be helped and won't be helped. But again, I would expect more from someone like Cynthia G to make videos like she does. It's again disingenuous because I know that she knows there's pockets of black men doing
Do you have
the
a feeling
right
for
thing,
Kevin Samuels?
huh?
Do you have the same feeling for Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels, he says a lot of things that I think a lot of women need to hear that they don't want to hear. And I agree with many of the things that he says. Now, do I agree with all of it? No, I don't. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I do think that
Would
look,
you?
what? Not even think.
Okay, so
I know that the truth
say it
hurts.
again. I'm sorry.
The truth hurts, and the truth does not bring people together. It divides. So that whenever someone speaks the truth, you're going to have polarity. That's just what it is.
I'm listening. I can hear you.
So, but when it comes to Cynthia G, like for instance, I just want to touch on that one part about never protecting black women. Now we know obviously about the Bloods and the Crips, they're gangs, right? But obviously they started out as neighborhood protection groups, and they were protecting the neighborhood. They were protecting black women. Black women, in the initial parts of these gangs or neighborhood watch communities, they weren't part of those groups. It was men. It was men protecting the communities. Now, obviously, the Bloods and Crips devolved into something that we see today, which is terrible. But it started out with a great plan. Obviously, when you look at the Black Panthers, same thing. We've had a lot of, and we still do to this day, have a lot of groups that do protect black women. So again, for someone to gallivant around such as Cynthia G, trying to portray herself as being so highly educated, she says a lot of foolish things that either she knows she's spewing some nonsense, or she doesn't know. But again, I refuse to believe that she doesn't know. I think she just again is being irresponsible and trying to tell quote unquote black women lies just to get views, I guess. But yeah, my channel for the most part is a pro truth channel. I only tell the truth. It's the truth, and it's not my truth, your truth. It's the truth. Far too often we have people want to say, "Oh, that's not my truth." Look, man, the truth is the truth. So we got to get away from that. I hear that a lot now in the black community. No matter the life they live, they were not in defensive. Okay, yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, Miss Liz Ford, we have control over our lives, and we have control on where we put ourselves in life. So yeah, they were defenseless and unarmed. But at the end of the day, you put yourself in a position for the cops to come and kill you. Like for instance, Liz Ford. I mean, not gonna. I don't want anything to happen to you, but I don't think that you'll be in a position that they found themselves in. So at the end of the day, back to accountability. If we hold these people accountable, then we have to hold them accountable for putting themselves in those positions. At the that's just what it is. If I want to go on a high speed chase with the cops and then get out my car and start running, I can't be incredulous if I get shot. So I have to take accountability for that. Uh, Melissa, you're back. Oh, I can't hear you. No, but the video looks super clear though. That's the crazy part. Video looks very good, but I can't hear you. Did you check the settings on the mic to see what mic is going through? I don't know why that's happening, man. I have no idea. But the video is perfect. It's not choppy. It's continuous. I don't understand why the black men on YouTube can use the worst representation of black women to make sweeping general. You know what's interesting about that, Curls, is that that's what Cynthia G does. Exactly what you just said is what Cynthia G does. And I'm not saying that black men on YouTube aren't doing that as well, because they might be. I don't know. I don't follow that many people on YouTube to know, but I'll take your word for it. But just as long as we know that Cynthia G does the same thing, she doesn't. She never pulled up a video of an astute black man, and tried to use that for her backdrop, because she avoids that, because she wants to paint this picture to all the black women that, oh, all black men are like this guy that wants a snow bunny and has his pants hanging down on the ground and can't put together a coherent sentence. You know what I mean? So hold on. She said, why is it wrong for her to do it? Why is it wrong for Cynthia to do it? Well, like I said, in my opinion, it's wrong for Cynthia to do it because I believe that Cynthia is disingenuous and irresponsible. She has a very large platform, very large. Melissa has a YouTube channel which is growing. I have a YouTube channel which is growing. So you understand how large in comparison when you juxtapose Cynthia G's platform to mine or Melissa's. So with that large of a platform, it should come with a level of responsibility. And in my opinion, from my perspective, Cynthia G is far too educated to say a lot of the things that she says. And when she uses these poor images of black men to propagate this her narrative, I'd rather her, like, for instance, how I'm sitting here talking about Cynthia G and you women are saying, hey, you agree with her. You're echoing some of the things that she says. I can sit here and say, yes, that's true. There's some things that I agree with her on, but there's other things that she's just so far out there, like I can't even respect it. But Cynthia G probably on the inverse of that will probably never ever take a video of mine and say, oh, well, there's some things that I like about what he's saying, but no, it'll just be like, oh, he's just the 3 trash bag carrying all this nonsense, So again, she wants to talk about accountability and all sorts of stuff, but she can't even look at a situation such as one that I'm bringing up objectively. So that's my issue with Cynthia G. I have, if you're gonna spit the truth, spit the whole truth and keep it real. And I think a lot of her stuff is for show. I think she's preying on a whole bunch of hurt, quote unquote, black women that want to hear that stuff. And it's a shame because, again, like I said, if you're a hammer, everything that you see is a nail. So that's just what it is. She's preying on these people.
Okay. It's echoing now.
That's the same thing.
Kevin Samuels does. We didn't just sit on the floor.
No, that's the same thing Kevin Samuels does.
All right.
Well, first of all, Cynthia G does not know how black women think at all.
All right. Sorry. Cynthia G. But my phone went dead or whatever because I thought I was gonna be on the tablet. I didn't know I was gonna have that many issues with the tablet, but the laptop, I should say. But so you were talking about. I'm sorry. This is when my phone went dead. You were talking, I got to go back. You were talking about Kevin Samuels, and he says a lot of hard truths that women need to hear. And I personally feel like Cynthia G is the same. Kevin Samuels does not at any time take in consideration, the great black women that are out there. He's actually problematic, and he encourages men to not take accountability. Like, how do you tell? No, seriously. I've heard him on lives when people call in or whatever, and he tells the woman, "Well, there's no hope for you. Move around." But there's not that many high value men, so there is hope for her. Or if he wanted to be honest, when that girl called in that he called her average at best, he should have just told her that don't date black. Black men do not associate, not all, but a lot of black men do not associate brown to dark skin with beauty. So they'll date a lady that looks like that's white or a white Hispanic, right? That is not as cute because she has white skin, and they'll date like she was small. She had a nice business. She only had one child that's almost grown. So it's not even like a little kid that you have to raise. Okay, he could have told her to date outside her race, but instead he decided to degrade that lady in front of all those people.
I
I've
don't,
heard
I
him.
don't, I don't agree with that. I think that
He didn't degrade her.
no, no, no. I'm not gonna say. I'm not. No, no, no. So he asks, "Do do you mind if it's a black man?" He always asks, "Do you mind if it's a black man?"
Yeah, I
She
heard him.
wants. She wanted a black man, and then not for nothing. These women, they know how the show goes. You call in, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're saying this stuff. Oh, I want a high value man. I have 3 kids. I have nothing to offer outside of my
She
body.
had a lot. She had
No,
a lot to.
did she?
I mean, she had a success. You can't be dumb. I mean, people try to disregard how she make. Like, if you've been in business, I don't care if you're selling crack. Ask some of these crack people that sell crack that's not doing good with it. That's a popular. So, but if she was consistently able to make it, like she do that work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Curls. She's freezing. I thought it was just on my end. I don't know how this video is being streamed to everybody, so I'm not sure at times if it's just me. But thanks for the update on that. And y'all keep talking about the manosphere. That's something that's foreign to me. I'm not too sure on what that is. To be honest with you, but based off how y'all ladies are speaking about it, it doesn't seem like something that I'd want to be a part of. So yeah, again, I'm not like that. And I urge all of you to check out the channel because you'll see a whole different side. You're back. I see you. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I can hear.
No, that's right. Can you hear me now?
Maybe we should just did this in my Facebook group and then just upload it because we've had so many issues. I feel like it's messing up the conversation. But I'm gonna be done with StreamYard. I'm gonna go to Zoom instead of StreamYard because I keep getting issues with. He puts me in women. He's not consistent. He had Tummy on his show. He could have drugged her like he drags everybody else because she's definitely what he says men should stay away from. Instead, he let her rate herself. I don't know what she called herself, an 8 or a 9. I think it's degrading to ask women to rate themselves as if the only thing they offer is the way they look. And and then if they don't offer anything else, so she says I make 6 figures. He says men don't care about how much you make. Then if I say, well, I just do this, that, and this, what do you have to offer besides that? Da da da. It's like he talks on both sides of the field. You're never gonna win with him. I don't know why women keep calling in, but he's very divisive. And I think Cynthia G is like it's just identifying like first of all he's gay. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but living your truth. You know, she's just identifying that, and she's telling women like do not base your value and your self worth based off these men who hate themselves. And until they start to love themselves and they become accountable for their own actions, you might need to look outside because black women are stuck on black men. Black men have never been stuck on black women. So you need to look outside because the only way you're going to end up alone is if you just focus on getting people that are determined not to get married to start with and have very toxic behaviors.
I agree to a degree. I think that, like you said, well, first and foremost, I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh, stay within the race, stay within the race," because the more research you do on race, you understand that, especially as it pertains to us, quote unquote, black people, that just because we look black doesn't mean that we all come from the same place. So
Mhm.
that's just something to keep in mind. But no one should feel like compelled to, if you're a black woman, to marry a black man for the quote
Right.
unquote race. You shouldn't be compelled to
Mhm.
do that, and I shouldn't be compelled to do the same thing either.
Mhm.
Listen, you have your life to live. As long as you live your life right and you have a nice, sound family structure and you're doing things the right way, raising children the right way, then do that. Because you can find a quote unquote black man, try to make that work, and it could lead nowhere. It could lead with one of
Yeah.
you being killed. So, so please, by all means,
In my
we gotta.
personal experiences, what I found is that I now instruct women: if you're over 30, maybe you need to leave American black men alone. That it's time. I say, get you a Haitian, a Jamaican, a African, or even, I mean, if you want to date white or Hispanic, whatever, it's time to leave American black men alone if you're over the age of 30. You know, unless it's somebody from your past that you already know. You know, but other than that, I say move along because the self hate is real, and it's
Well, I don't see. That's where you lose me. I don't fully agree with that. Now, are there some self-hating black men out there? Are there a lot of black men out there that have issues? Yes,
mm-hmm,
yes. It all started in the house. Unfortunately, that just happens to be the issue for us. We have to repair that house, and
mm-hmm,
it starts with the black man. We have to repair the black man. That's that's my main message. So I agree with you, but it's not
okay.
that many. It's not that many black men that are self-hating. you know,
You don't
and
think so? So
no,
okay, this question then. Okay, this question. Black men who brag about the fact, um, women control sex, we control marriage, da da da. Like
true.
black men's obsession with sex. Okay. Uh, I feel like that's what's gonna keep you guys dominated because if you can't control that, like why are you sleeping with people that you don't want? And I know you can say, well, why do women do it? But I'm asking men.
Mhm.
Why are men sleeping with people they don't want to be with? And then get mad when they have kids with them. I mean, it's just like, and it's not. It's the. I say it's the majority. It's not a minority thing. It's the overall. It's the majority, definitely.
Well, Well, I mean, I think the most simple answer for that would
Mhm.
be sexual attraction. There's been women that I've been sexually attracted to, and then I'd speak to them, and it's like, damn, there's nothing I have in common with this girl. Like this, like
But
I hate.
then they'll take it to a different level. Men, according to them, I'm just going behind what they say, and men feel like they will even sleep with people they're not attracted with to just because it's just sex. It's like how does that make sense?
Well, that see, well, I see now again. I'll use the term men loosely when it pertains to that because that shows total lack of discipline. If you're just going to, lay down with whoever, whenever, just because the opportunity arises. Look, don't get me wrong. When I was young, I did things like that. When I was
Mm-hmm,
young, but as the Bible says, when I was a child, I did childish things, and
mm-hmm.
now that I'm a man, I no longer do childish things. So yes, back then, yeah, I've done things like that, but I wasn't even close to being a man. So again, I use that term loosely when you say men do those type of things. Those aren't people that I would rush to call men.
Right.
You
So
know,
Liz says repair and rebuild, and let's not pacify grown people who constantly use their childhood trauma as a crutch. Right. So many married men that reach out to single women and hide it, or people who say, "Well, my mom didn't love me, so I have a hard time showing love," which is a lie. And they just, I'm
not
not saying
necessarily.
that's a lie. I'm saying I was talking about a person in particular when I said that, but I mean, I'm saying at some point you have to grow, and you have to want more for yourself. And if you can identify the problem, then you know what you need to work on. Okay, so me and you're gonna agree that men need to step up.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
we
Oh,
agree that to divest is not a bad thing, and it's not so. So you believe you could be pro black and not married to a black person?
My wife is Caucasian.
Oh yeah, I went to your Facebook. I know. So you feel like you're pro-black?
No, I'm not pro-black.
Okay.
No, I'm not
So.
pro-black. Pro-black
Mhm.
is pro. The problem with that's why I say black, and I say so-called black, because
Mhm.
black this is black, and
Right. Of
as you can
course.
see,
Or
there's some
brown. Some
juxtaposition.
brown.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not. My hair is black. I'm not black, and black does not denote any kind of history or
Mhm.
culture
Yeah.
or anything like that. So when we call ourselves black, we
Mhm.
align ourselves with a color. One,
Mhm.
two, we align ourselves with white. And that's why the pro blackity blacks always talking about, oh, well, the white man this and the white man that and the white man that. The sooner we stop uh, going with the black stuff, we'll stop connecting to the white stuff and we'll focus on ourselves.
Mhm.
So I'm not pro black by any stretch of the imagination. I'm pro empowering the black community by empowering the black man to understand the power that he has.
The indigenous man. You just said you don't like the word black, so.
Black man.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, the unfortunately my signal has been horrible. Um, my signal has been horrible. I wish we could have. I guess I should have went home. I didn't realize it was gonna be all this. You weren't gonna be able to hear me on the laptop. I feel like it messed up the conversation. It's still a good conversation, but it was
Yeah.
so many. I might have to edit this and take it down and edit out all that and make it a video.
It's all
so,
good.
so it
I
can be
think I think
watchable.
yeah, I think that the people that were watching and commenting, I think they were able to keep
So
up
can
with
we
the
agree
pace of the
that Cynthia
conversation.
G isn't wrong? You just don't like her delivery.
No, 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 no. She's wrong on many things that she says. Again,
But you didn't name one thing he
she's
was
not
wrong.
helping. Well, she's not
He
helping the.
said Sammy Samuels, but you like him. You just don't like women that are telling women to open up your mind and see what's going on. That you're never going to be
What,
selected by these people. That you were never in the
no,
running. That's all she's trying to tell women. You were never in the running. Don't allow these men to dangle this carrot in front of your eyes. Say if you were smaller, if you were more feminine, if you were this, because that's not who they're really choosing anyway.
well,
It's
that
like
might
if
be true. That might be
okay,
true that she says, but I can't speak on that. I just can't because obviously she's a woman speaking to women on that. So that's a whole
right.
different perspective that I'm not privy to. So if you see a value in that, then that's great. You know that is great. But from my
Mm-hmm.
perspective, a lot of things that she says, as a man, I'm like,
But you
that's
haven't
not
named
entirely
one
true.
thing you disagree with her on besides she said that black men haven't protected black women in no time. And I mean, as a whole, as a collective, that's kind of true.
Like I said, the Bloods, the Crips, the Nation of Islam,
Now we're breaking up. All right, go ahead.
Black
What you
Panther.
say?
I said the Bloods, Crips, Nation of Islam, Black Panther Party.
The
Like,
Nation of Islam. You know who they're connected to?
yeah, but they protect theirs and they protect their black women.
They haven't built anything. Like, how are you that big of a nation? And I mean, what do we have to show for it? I'm tired of all these. Like, they look cute when they stand together. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but I just feel like if you're for the people, we have too many issues that aren't addressed when we got all these groups that are for the people. I know they killed off the Black Panthers, if you want to talk about them, but like, it can't be one set of people. You got to have backup. Like, why haven't they? Why haven't they I mean, I know they still got people out there that are still, I guess, call themselves the Black Panthers, but like, where's the backup? Like, I mean, I don't know. I can't, like, all those people that you named like had horrible executions. I'm just saying, I'm looking from my perspective. I just feel like they could have really used some women leadership. Some more planning. Uh, if you know these people are out for you, there's some different things you should make go about doing things a little different. If you know a set of people are after you, just saying. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say when you say those names. I go, oh, they were cute. You know what I'm saying? I respect them. A lot of them laid their lives down. Um, yeah, but it didn't do. I mean, it didn't promote. We didn't catapult. We didn't go forward. We assimilated.
Yeah, but
But
I mean, what could you really expect? Like you said, there's so many different groups. You know, there's so many different sects going on at the same time. For instance, you had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, during the same time period, not on the same page.
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, towards the end, when Malcolm adopted a more globalist approach, which
And Martin brought his approach down. He understood towards the end that like he said, he walked us in this whole integration thing was the worst thing that ever happened.
yeah, well, he
He
was a
walked us.
pawn.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King was a pawn, and that's why they took him out because he was no longer a use. He was
Mhm.
pushing that communist rhetoric too. That's why they knew what was going on. Him
Mhm.
and that other dude, I forget his freaking name. I think Abernathy. But anyway, even another group, the UNIA, Marcus Garvey's group, they protected black women.
They what?
They protected black women
When?
back when they were
What
marching up and
day?
down Harlem. Like these things happen. If
Marcus
you're
Garvey died shamed because he was working with the Klan. Um, and
no,
how can you
no,
return us to somewhere we've never been? Like how? Okay, this is what I'll never understand. People are always trying to go to Africa. When we got like I'm from Monroe, Louisiana. Okay, population 100,000. Wouldn't it make more sense to go to a small town and dominate, and, and then to go way to Africa where they just as corrupt as everybody else that we've ever heard of,
yeah,
and try to work with it? And they're on another level with it. At least they pretend. They don't pretend a lot over here. At least they pretend over here. They're not even pretending over there. Do we really want to go to Africa where they're not even pretending? Well, certain parts I know.
yeah,
When they're not
no,
even pretending, dealing with their corrupt government and trying to establish something when we could just go to a small town here in the United States and put together our own police force, put together our own people in politics, pay them, and then repeat. Wouldn't that make more sense?
I agree, but you got to talk to Umar Johnson about that. He's a Pan
Oh, there
Africanist.
you
I'm
go,
not.
Umar.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a Pan Africanist.
I'm
you know,
not a
I
Pan Africanist either.
yeah. Well, like I said before, not all of us came over here on slave ships.
Right,
So
most of us didn't. At least not in the United States, right? We were
yeah,
already here.
exactly. So it would be pointless to go someplace that we're not even from. So
Right.
so yeah, I agree with that. But there's a lot of our brothers and sisters out there, but you don't see them leading the voyage. They talk all this crap, but you don't see them freaking. At least Marcus Garvey, whether you agree with it or not, at least he started the Black Star Line. At least he
Yeah.
started something. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to do it. He never got it done, but he was trying to get it done. And when you said he worked with the Ku Klux Klan, he didn't work with them in a way like for instance,
Thing.
you have to you don't think warring kings communicate?
Yeah, I think
They,
so.
so it's not a bad thing. For instance, when a lot of the athletes, when Trump became president, oh, I'm not going to go to the White House. I'm not going to go to the White House. And I think that's a terrible approach. If I have an issue with a man, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to sit down like a king and talk to that man and say, hey, these are my issues. What can be done
But
about it?
but he was trying to get funding. That's kind of different. Like okay, so like I'm not a Trump hater by any means, but if I, like let's say I don't know who's a good person to use an example. If you don't, okay, like you say you don't believe in women's rights, right? And I have this. I'm just saying example. Just use an example. And I have this big protest about. Let's say we can't vote, right? Women can't vote, and you're against women voting. And yeah, I talk to you, use your dialogue, but I'm not gonna take your money. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, a great example, like this girl who doesn't believe in modern medicine, and she had a cancer page, but she's taking sponsorships from cancer drugs, but that's not even what you believe in. Like that, you don't take money from people you don't believe in. He was taking money from them people. Like he was trying to
Who?
get funding. I
Marcus?
mean, yes.
What's wrong with that? If his overall message was let's get up out of here and we need money to do it, then who cares where the money is coming from? If that was his end goal,
I think it makes a lot. It matters where it comes from.
I mean, again, if he's saying like we're going to go to Africa and we're staying over there, it's not like he's indebted. The clan ain't going to go across the Atlantic to freaking recover that debt. They're just gonna. All right, they should be happy they left. So I think when it pertains to him, wanting that funding for that, I can't really knock him for it. If he knows that he wants to leave and take everyone with him, that's not a bad thing. Now, if you want this, like for instance, if you're a politician current day and you're rallying in your city, your inner city, your urban areas, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna make these programs for the quote unquote black man. We're gonna, reconstruct the black family and all sorts of stuff. And then I'm taking money from the Ku Klux Klan. That's a huge problem.
But I always, maybe I misunderstood what Marcus Garvey was saying. I always thought he was saying that we need to go to Africa. Not only to some people to stay, but create a like a empire there. That when you do people wrong in the United States, there's an empire in Africa that you have to be accountable to. I didn't think it was more so let's just pack up and go and never come back. Because a trip is a trip. We all can make a trip. That ain't no big deal. We can put our money
Yeah.
together do that. But I thought his whole purpose was to create like some type of I don't know, kingdom over there that could be a force to be reckoned with. So like if our people are being done over here, that would be a kingdom to say, well, we won't do this if y'all are doing this to our people. Da da da. So you would technically still have dealings with the United States.
Yeah, but it'll be from a diplomatic standpoint. For instance, when all the Asian hate was going on, obviously,
Yeah.
when like all the Asian hate
I know.
crimes.
I'm being funny, but go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So whenever all that stuff happened, that's why I put it in quotes. When all that stuff was happening, you had China. America had China to deal with. That's why Biden was so fast in signing into legislation, that executive order, to make it a hate crime to attack Asians. Because if he didn't, there would be, they'd have to pay. Not literally pay, but China's going to have something to say about that. But as quote unquote blacks over here, we don't have any kind of diplomatic support. So he was trying to do that. But again, if he's going to go to the Ku Klux Klan and ask for money, they're probably looking at him like, whatever, nigger, you want to leave, take the money and go. He's probably looking at them like they're stupid. They have no idea. They give me this money, and then we're coming back stronger. Like a phoenix. You smite me down today, but I'm going to come back stronger. And I say all that not because I'm some kind of fan of Marcus Garvey. Do I respect a lot of what he was trying to do? Yes, I read all of his speeches, all of his volumes, and all of that stuff. So I'm very well read when it comes to Marcus Garvey. So that's why I'm speaking from that perspective.
The sound has gone out again.
No way.
And, I really enjoyed you coming on, and I enjoyed speaking with you. I'm sorry that the connection was so horrible, but I definitely enjoyed speaking with you. I just want to say, I want to officially make you a Cynthia G fan. I want you to stop.
Oh, please don't do that to me. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. But yes, I do. Again, thank you for allowing me to come on your channel. I had a great time. Oh no, man.
Well, I do appreciate you for coming on and speaking your piece and how you feel. And again, I just want to say that we agree way more so than we disagree. So I think you just don't like her delivery, but I understand that too. And whenever you want to come back, just let me know. I appreciate you for coming today. Next time, I'm gonna make sure I have a good connection because I can't hear, unfortunately. But I'll go back and watch it and edit it and make it into a video. That way we can get some of the chopping out of it, okay? But I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Make sure y'all subscribe. My one viewer, make sure you go subscribe to.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. Much love.
Good night.